Hello, people. I'm going to be going over how to make a song on GarageBand. So, without further my dudes, let's go ahead and get started. So up here in the top right corner, there's a plus sign. Let's just start with the basics keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and hit more sounds down there at the bottom right. And I like to just start off with a good old classical grand. So this is your sustain pedal up here, then I'm switching back and forth. As you see, it holds the note. So the top right, there's this little gear, you click on that, go to song settings. We want a tempo for our song, depending on what genre you're going for. If you're gonna be doing like some techno, drum and bass kind of stuff, you're gonna get like more higher speeds. But if you're, doing hip hop, again, it depends. Trap is generally really, really slow tempo, but it's programmed higher for quantization purposes. Old school style would be like moderate to slow. You click on it, you can change it like that, or you can set the tempo just by tapping it. But we'll just stick with 110 for now. There's time signature, a few various time signatures. Most pop music, hip hop music is going to be in 4/4 time, so let's just stick with that for now. If you feel like playing around with it, go for it, but for the purpose of this, we're just going to be in 4/4. And a key signature, so this is going to dictate what key the song is in. C major has, on the keyboard, it is all of the white notes. But since this is, hippity hop, we're going to go with A minor. Now, A minor and C major are the exact same, just they start somewhere else. So let's change this over to scroll and I'll show you. As you see, it's kind of sad. You don't have to know how to play piano or any instrument, honestly, to do this. If you look over here, it says like glissando, scroll or whatnot. If you just slide over to your right, there's like 2 music notes. There's some like little squares that are building a pyramid, and then there's this weird little rectangle with lines in it. So we're going to start off with the one to the left there, then 2 notes. You click on that, and you can choose what scale it's going to be in. Super exciting. So we're in A minor. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Go to minor, and it's going to put us only using those notes. You can just kind of play around with it. And so this right here is the arpeggiator. This is going to create an arpeggio effect to whatever you're doing. So I'll just give you a quick little. You see, it does that. Super exciting. It's useful. It's nice if you don't feel like playing the notes or what have you. Plus, with like such a small keyboard, it's a lot easier to do that with. All right, and then we have the this is the smart piano or smart keyboard, where it'll play just the whole chord. So you don't even have to know the chords. You can just kind of like look at them, get a feel for them, and just kind of figure something out. That sounded neat. Why don't we record what that was, and we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, whatever. It's something. Yeah, whatever. It's not the best thing anyone's ever heard, but it's something here. Hold on, let me go back and show you again what I just did. So, the gear button, track controls, and then I go to track settings, and we'll quantize this. So I'm going to go ahead and quantize it to the 8th note. See what that does. Nope, hate it already. Alright, so we can either make it like swing, which will give it like the loose, jazzy kind of feel, or we can do 16th notes, which is going to make it more on point. But what it does is it moves the notes over and makes them like correct instead of off by a little bit. So with the metronome, we'll hear it. Alright, so, yeah, we got that going for us there. I accidentally hit some weird note at the end, and I kind of like it, but I want to move it over. Oh, yeah, my bad. That was supposed to be a tutorial thing. So I'm looking at this, double tap it, and edit. When you go to edit, it'll let you edit the notes. So you can make them longer, you can tap on them, you can change the velocity, you can add notes by up at the top left corner, you can switch this little thing off and on. So we can add that. If you notice I changed it up, that was not on purpose. Okay, I don't like that. It sounds like you're pausing Mario 64. Alright, so I'm just gonna slide these boogers down to match what it sounded like the first time. So beautiful. And actually, one more thing. So I didn't have the sustain turned on during that, so that's why all the notes are kind of choppy. But with the editor, you can actually add a sustain and drag it over, make it as long as you want. Alright, and then so you tap on this thing, double tap it, and you can hit loop, and that way it'll just continue to play over and over again. So I could have just looped it from here, but I feel as though playing it that extra time allows you to kind of mess up a little bit, and it just gives it a more human feel when playing it, because there's two mess ups in that second part where one, I elongate something a little bit too long, and then that weird note hit at the end. But see, there's a slight difference, and it makes it feel, again, just more like a human being is playing it instead of a robot. And also, so back into track controls, track settings, transposition. So let's say, this feels a little bit low. I'm going to raise it up an octave. And, it's just going to be an octavier. Alright, so there's a little something there. So we have a bass level. We have a foundation to the song. We got a chord progression, so to speak. So I'm gonna go ahead, throw in a new piano sound here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change it up to grand piano as opposed to classical, because grand piano has a lot more poignant sounding notes. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna go into this, go into minor. I'm just gonna play around with it for a minute and find a melody I think is pretty cool. Go from there. So, bear with me. Oh, there we go. That was something. Loop that, because why not? We're adding the sustain in just like we did a minute ago, just, Yeah, and one thing I sometimes will mess with depending on what I'm doing. So if I go back into track controls, the track settings, there was, actually wait, it's when you click on this. So there's velocity sensitivity. Normally for percussive thing that I'm doing, I'll turn it off just because I like for all that to be hard hitting. Bass, a lot of the times I'll turn it off, but with piano specifically, in order to make it feel more human, what it does is it changes the velocity at which you'll be hitting. So if I turn it off entirely, everything is hit at the same level where it's See what I'm saying? Maybe, who knows? And so if we go back into edit, you can actually see all these have varying velocities because of that. Alright, can't think of really anything else I'd want to go over at this point. So there you have it, folks. There's the first video. You know, enjoy. Let me play you out.